The U.S. says 3 of its troops have been killed and dozens more wounded in a drone attack on a base in northeastern Jordan. President Joe Biden blamed Iran-backed militants for the attack, which took place near the border with Syria and Iraq. He vowed to hold the perpetrators to account. Media reports say the drone struck near a barracks at the base. It is the first time American military personnel have been killed by hostile fire in the region since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. Let's get more with Washington Bureau Chief Ines Paul. Ines, it's good to see you. What more do we know at this point? This is, of course, a developing story.
Well, the killing of the 3 Americans in Jordan near the border with Syria is definitely a significant escalation of an already precarious situation in the Middle East. This is the first time, as you just mentioned, that US troops have been killed by enemy fire in the Middle East since the beginning of the Gaza war. And the prompt reaction of President Biden kind of underlines the significance of this attack. He promised to hold those responsible for the attack, I quote him, to account at a time and in a manner our choosing. And he also said, I quote him here as well, we know it was carried out by radical Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq.
You mentioned that this will lead most likely to an escalation, but this is also not the first time a US military base has been attacked in the region. What can we anticipate at this point, or are we still waiting for more information?
Correct. US officials have repeatedly said that they do not want to see the increasingly high tensions across the Middle East broaden into a regional war. And indeed, there have been more than 160 or so attacks on US and coalition forces in Iraq and Syria since the war started. However, until today, officials have described the constant volley of drones, rockets and missiles as unsuccessful because they have not caused serious injury or damage to infrastructure. This, of course, has changed with today. And given the increasing political pressure President Biden is facing from the Republican Party in this election year, which has just started, it indeed doesn't seem unlikely that the US will increase their military involvement. And with that, of course, comes an increasing risk that the conflict will spread throughout the whole Middle East.
Many factors in a very tense situation. Thank you so much for following that developing story for us. Ines Paul in DC.